Hopefully it works. It's pretty exciting. I like when I do something and it works. I don't know, it feels very nice. I think that's what I like most about uh, well, doing games, programming. I think I haven't programmed. Well, I programmed one time, but let me tell you about this as I work. A couple of mm, well, after I think in May 2020, a person that I trusted a lot. He was a professor in a school that I didn't went to, but I had friends there, and I worked in a branch of that school teaching English. And that guy was like he had a master's degree, a PhD in computer science, and he told me that he had a good project, and that if I would like to work with him on the project, and it was some kind of app that it was supposed to bring the oh no, he hit me anyway. It was supposed to be to help the people, like, well, the companies to have better control with the COVID and all that stuff. And then it was supposed to be like a self-check app. Uh, and he said, well, you're not gonna get paid, but when we start earning money, you're gonna get a good amount of money. Like you're gonna get 10% of all the sales. And I was like, okay, and how much is that gonna be? And he said, well, we are going to work. Like I lived in Reynosa, and he said, you're gonna get probably we're gonna get all the manufacturing companies in Reynosa. Manufacturing is the biggest industry. We have around, I don't know, 60 or 70 companies. And supposedly that guy knew everyone there. He was going to get all the all the support because he already knew people. It was just a matter of finishing an app and delivering the product. And he told me, and I quote, "This is looking good. I think you should start looking for your favorite convertible." And I honestly, I got really excited. It was pretty lame, but I got really excited because I thought I was going to earn a lot of money. And I had been struggling, like trying, well, I still continue to struggle, but I was struggling to trying to make a living making games. And also, like, the pandemic was starting, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue teaching and all sort of things. So yeah, it was like God sent. He wanted an app. I had worked. I had made a couple of games for iOS and Android, but later, like I didn't have a lot of experience working on that. But I decided that, yeah, like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go for it, and then it I didn't know, like I wasn't an expert on making apps and all sort of things like that, but I wanted to give it a go. mm, there were things that I didn't know the how to do. For example, the app needed to use a database to work on like a website and keep logs. For example, you should be able to log in because like it was a company. Uh, you need to be able to log in and use the like log in, check that every day you had made an evaluation. I bought a couple of what do you call it? Plugins for Unity, for graphs, and other things that I didn't know how to do. Well, I thought that it was a waste of time trying to make on my own. I ended up spending, I don't know, maybe 10,000 pesos. It's like $500 maybe. But I thought it was worth it because the people that well, the person that I was talking to was really trustworthy, supposedly. And then Mm, well, I worked a lot. I stopped working on my game on Boney for almost 2 months. All the time that I was working on that, uh, I didn't work on Boney. I wanted to finish that. They had some meetings and it was supposedly it was going great. Uh, they had all the contacts. I finished the app on time. It was working as intended. But later they started coming up with stuff like, oh, I think it should be able to take the temperature and silly things like with a cell phone you cannot do that. They were contacting some people that sold the checkups, the temperature checks that you have now in every store and stuff like that. And after that, I don't know. They were trying to implement it. They were asking me if I could implement the software of to check temperature in the app. I had made a lot of work. I designed all the app. I made the color scheme, the everything. The app was working pretty well, if you ask me. Um, Maybe I'll share it someday. And then it just fell out. Like the guy said it. He never talked to me again for a while, and then I went and asked him like, "Is this like over or what?" And he said, "Oh, well, I think yeah, because um, they're not going through, and I think we need some permissions and stuff like that." I started to get suspicious because supposedly they were going to give me a contract, and with that contract, I was going to be able to, well, it was like a backup for me, just to make sure that if the app sold, I was gonna get the money. But I didn't get anything. I didn't even get paid for my expenses or for my time because I was supposed to earn mm, from the profits, which were zero. So if anybody offers you something like that, uh, think it think about it very well. It had a lot of bad repercussions on me, to be honest. In the no, I it didn't interrupt boning. I'm lying, liar. It interrupted humans took my neighbors. Yes, and I didn't prepare as well as I should. But yeah, Bonnie, I started last year. But it really affected me. It made me feel like silly for believing in people, and not everybody's like that. But that was a person that I trusted a lot. He's a professor in the school, and he's smart and stuff like that. So I never thought, and I know it wasn't his fault, but it's still, if he wasn't so sure, he shouldn't have contacted me that way. And it affected me in a lot of ways. I didn't want to, because I had shared it with my family. I was really excited about it. I was working for supposedly for the government or something, but it turned out to be a blunder. And I decided to just focus on my things from then on. Even recently, last week, a person contacted me, and it was like a same deal. Oh, I have an idea and stuff like that. Ideas are dime a dozen. So if anybody tries to convince you to do something that you know it's gonna be, they're not assuring you that they're gonna pay you anything. Your time is worth it. Don't don't undervalue yourself. That can be, it's terrible, and you feel bad if you don't get paid. And everybody needs money to live. And yeah, that guy did me dirty, and then this guy came around and asked me like, "Oh no, we split the profit and stuff like that." And I say, "Well, there's some places that you can build an app. Just go and ask, and they will charge you, right?" And he checked the price and he didn't like it. But I wasn't going to do it. Right now, I'm really focused on finishing Boney. And well, that was my sad story. I just wanted to share it a little bit. I don't know, I remember it right now. But well, back to work.